Hey there, Internet Keith here. Welcome to the Cars of Keith YouTube channel. In this video, we are doing Hannah's first wash, and we're going to do it as a bucket list wash. So this video will be more than one thing. It's that first wash to kind of learn your car, the contours, the best way to rinse, the best way to soap, the most efficient processes, what's going to work with the wheels, what might not work with the wheels because some of the rotors may be bigger on some. At the same time, we'll be showing you how to wash your paint without buckets, without creating more swirls. We're trying to make sure we take care of this. We're also going to try to figure out what kind of coating is on here, if there is a coating. If not, then there'll probably be another video where we'll strip down everything down to nothing and then put a coating on there. So before we get any further in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. There's tons of great stuff on the channel to check out. There's tons of great stuff coming along the way. Let's get right into the video. So obviously the first thing you want to do is clean the wheels first. You don't want to clean the car and then have the wheels put nasty stuff back on the car. You want to do it first. Now normally I would use the rim twister with a drill. That's what this is right here. And then I would just quickly clean the wheel. Once you get it dialed in, you don't have to try as hard to clean, but this is the first time I see a lot of dirt in the barrel. So I'm going to be using the easy detail brush to get deep into the barrel. I have a tire brush for the tire. I have a lug nut brush for the lug nuts. I have a license plate that I use here to protect my wheels from the bleach white, which is not good for painted surfaces or anything like that. You want to keep that off of that. And then we have Fallout Remover W6 from Gtechniq for the brake dust and everything. And I normally don't use bleach white, but this is the first time and I've seen a lot of yellowing right here. So I'm using a little bit harsher chemical. I usually would use W5 from Gtechniq as well. So let's get started. So first we put Fallout Remover on the wheel to protect the wheel with our license plate. We're not, being too protective. We're just making sure. I don't want to spray it directly on there. So now we're going to add a little W4 Gtechniq foam. And I'm just going to get inside the barrels. So if we can fit between there, that's kind of learning what can I put through here. I can actually fit the whole brush through there, which is good. The rotor isn't too big. I have plenty of room to get around. Unlike Heidi, my other car, I can't get this brush past the caliper because it's just too deep. See how dirty it is on the inside of the barrel. At some point we're going to take these off and ceramic coat them. They looked so clean, didn't they? But as you can see, I mean, look how much brake dust is built up back there. You see how dirty this tire was? I'm gonna hit the wheel well as well. I'm learning that I could put the detail brush in here, no problem. Plenty of room. Now, as long as it's not warm, hotter outside, it's not in the sun, you can let this sit for a little bit longer, let it eat a little more, and then spray it off. So obviously the next thing to do is rinse it off before we do the initial foam. This is a 3.0 nozzle running about 1100 psi at about 1.75, 1.8 gallons per minute on my active VE52. This is the SGS 28 swiveling gun. As you can tell already, this car is barely protected. You can see there's a little bit up here. The roof has no protection at all. It's just dead stuck up there. It's not even moving. The windows are not protected either. This is one of the many things that you learn in that first wash. I mean, look at that windshield. Like, no protection at all. We have the MJGC right here. I have a metering tip from GWASH in the tube. Go check out my video on that, how to use these metering tips anytime you want. But I have this dial specifically to where it doesn't put a ton of foam. It puts a nice liquidy amount on there. It's like a pre-rinse that we're about to do. So we're gonna let that sit for just a few minutes, let it work off. The reason I'm using a runnier amount is because I knew it was kind of not protected. So I wanted something that was gonna be able to work off a lot easier. Once we get it coated more, we'll probably use a little bit thicker solution, but if not, this just runs off really well, getting that dirt off of there. All right, so we've learned that with those roof rails that we're definitely going to need to use an extension, and we're gonna have to hit the inside of each roof rail from either side. So I've also learned on the back where the hatch comes up, there's a little bit of like a little spoiler wing that goes over top. A lot of the foam likes to sit up in there. You gotta do a lot of rinsing up in there. Then we're gonna use our Gtechniq microfiber mitt to wash each panel. After each panel, we're gonna hit it with a rinse from the SGS-28 gun, getting all of the dirt and everything off, and then going on to the next panel. Flipping the mitt as we need. We're gonna do 2 panels, 1 on each side, and then move on to the rinse part. All right, we have our mitt. We've let it sit for just a minute. Hit our mitt with some water. She was clean before, looked clean from the dealer, but I told them I didn't want them to touch the car. I didn't want them to detail it after I picked it up. So they're like, what? We usually wash or clean it for everybody. I'm like, no, I don't want anybody to touch it. So surface-wise, it was kind of clean, but in the crevices and all the other places, really dirty. It's only been surface cleaned, it really hasn't been deep cleaned. So I already made a change. I hate wands. So I got to where I'm like really reaching up there and at an angle. I think I got it. I just hate wands. I hate how it feels in my hand. So what I have here is Easy Coat. This is a 20-to-1 dilution ratio. If it's really your first time ever using it, they have a garden hose attachment that can attach to the garden hose, and you just spray it on and then just rinse it right off. But I use this and my pressure sprayer. Need to make sure the car is coated well with water. You want to put a little more at the top than on the bottom. Definitely never do this in sunlight. Do this at night. It's cool outside right now, so even with a little bit of sunlight, it's not bad. But you put more at the top because as you rinse, it's going to work its way down. And as it gets with water, it bonds to the surface. All right, now switch to a big 65 degree, like a 5.0 nozzle, just something that puts out a lot of volume because I have this just hooked up to the water hose through a deionization filter and not through the pressure washer. Now you don't want to rinse too hard. You just want to be nice and easy. That's why I switched to deionization. So I won't have water spots, but also I'm not using pressure to rinse the car off. All we're going to do now is hit it with a leaf blower to dry it off, because we now got the hydrophobicy we need from the Easy Coat. Now it's going to take, with Easy Coat, I'll probably wash it 3 or 4 more times in the next couple weeks. Easy Coat each time, and just want to continue to stack up that coating. So I hope you learned a lot from this video. I know I sure did. I've learned contours of a car, where the foam goes, where the water goes when rinsing, the most efficient way to take care of it. It's going to take a little while to figure out how dirty the wheels were, how dirty some areas were. It was surface clean, but it wasn't clean. How to wipe those surfaces off without using buckets by, rinsing off the mitt. It's just as good as putting the mitt in a rinse bucket. It works great. So before you end the video, check out that sunset. I mean, the sun sets in a part of the sky this time of year in early fall. It just looks amazing. It's just on fire. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey there, Internet Keith here, and welcome to the Cars with Keith YouTube video. Then we'll be showing you how to, and at the same time we'll be showing you how, oh my gosh. So before you can, tons of great content on the channel, you can check it out. So before we get any further, go ahead and hit that like button. So before we get hurt, oh my gosh. So before we get, I can't talk. So before you get, now he's pissed at me over there. I must be disturbing him with my YouTube video. He's staring right at me too. So before we get any further, go hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Tons of great time. So before we get any further, go ahead and hit the like button. So before we get any further, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Tons of great time. I can't talk. So before we get any further into the video, go ahead and hit that. So before we get any further into the video, go ahead and hit that. Running out of daylight.